It has always been a part of me, actually. I always said I'm going to own orphanages around the world
That's a big
because,
dream. That's a very big dream.
yes, I just had this thing where, especially when it comes to hunger, and you see a lot of, because I grew up in the north, so seeing a lot of almajiris
Yeah.
begging. And upon research, I found out that almajiri, the word itself, it means student, right? So I'm like, why are they students?
I
Why are
think
they
it was
begging?
coined from the word al-muhajirun, an Arabic word
Yeah,
al-muhajirun, and that means a migrator, someone
yeah,
that migrates from one
migrates
place
from
to
one place
another.
to
Sure.
another. So I wondered, like, okay, why are they begging on the street all the time? Why are they always? So I tried to do a lot more like research on the situation, and I just felt like, okay, we all need to collectively come together to end hunger, because what they beg for mostly is
It's food.
food.
Yeah.
What they beg for mostly is food, and you realize that when even you as an adult, if you're hungry, sometimes you can't function.
Yeah, they
You
say
can't
a hungry man is an angry man.
exactly.
So yeah, it
So
is.
that was where I believe my
Your turning point per se, yeah.
humanitarian, yeah, philanthropic activity started from. I used to feed them out of my own personal stipends that I would get, and then from there it just grew into something that I became extremely passionate about.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Spotlight On, where we discuss leadership, civic responsibility, inclusion, and youth participation in politics. Today, we'll be spotlighting on Dr. Ruqayya, a young person, a family woman who has contributed so much behind the scenes. I would love you to pay attention to what we discuss together with her, who she is, what she does, and how she has contributed to the society. Dr. Ruqayya, welcome to S24.
Thank you very much.
For viewers meeting you for the first time, they would love to know who is Dr. Ruqayya Ahmed and where does the title come from?
As you mentioned, I'm first of all a family woman um, and a medical graduate. I also run a non-governmental organization. We particularly have interests in feeding those in underserved communities. And recently, I got appointed as a national women leader of also a non-governmental organization. And so essentially, that's what I do. I am also a part-time entrepreneur. I have my own business, and yeah, essentially
So
that's who I
basically,
am.
that's just Dr. Ruqayya in a nutshell.
Yes.
How does your personal experience shape your passion for leadership and let me say civic education?
I'm a firm believer that in order for us to contribute to our society, our growth as individuals and in our society as large, we need to understand the system. We need to understand governance, what governance really is. So I went a step further by talking to those in the system in order to understand what it is they really do behind the scenes. And that's knowledge, what I learn from them, and also reading about the system is very, very, very
Yeah, reading
important.
is very important. It
Yeah,
contributes to your
yes,
knowledge.
yes. So all of that combined just keeps me informed. So I know when things are not going right in my own personal surroundings,
Mm-hmm.
I know who to hold accountable.
Mm-hmm.
I know what steps to take in order to um, ask questions,
The right
the right
questions.
people to ask, and the right questions to ask, and just to be informed about general my civic duties and then my rights as a Nigerian as well.
Was there a defining moment that pushed you into advocacy and maybe, let's say, non-profit work?
It has always been a part of me, actually. I always said I'm going to own orphanages around the world
That's a big
because
dream. That's a very big dream.
yes, I just had this thing where, especially when it comes to hunger, and you see a lot of, because I grew up in the north, so seeing a lot of almajiris
Yeah, yeah.
begging, and upon research, I found out that al-Majri, the word itself, it means student, right? So I'm like, why are they students?
I
Why are
think
they
it was
begging?
coined from the word al-muhajirun, an Arabic word
Yeah,
al-muhajirun, and that means a migrator, someone
yeah,
that migrates from one
migrate
place
from
to
one place
another.
to
Sure.
another. So I wondered, like, okay, why are they begging on the street all the time? Why are they always? So I tried to do a lot more like research on the situation, and I just felt like, okay, we all need to collectively come together to end hunger, because what they beg for mostly is
It's food.
food.
Yeah.
What they beg for mostly is food. And you realize that when, even you as an adult, if you're hungry, sometimes you can't function.
Yeah, they
You
say
can't.
a hungry man is an angry man.
Exactly.
So yeah, it
So
is.
that was where I believe my
Your
you know,
turning point per se, yeah.
humanitarian, yeah, philanthropic activities started from. I used to feed them out of my own personal you know, stipends that I would get, and then from there it just grew into something that I became extremely passionate about.
You're widely known for your work in women participation, let's say in advocacy. How do you think people perceive women participation, and why do you think it's still very critical in the society we are in today?
One of the things that led me to participate in civic education and civic spaces
Yeah.
is, some people might view it as politics,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not really that. When it comes to understanding your civic duties as a person, your responsibilities as a citizen of your country,
Sure.
and then your rights, you know, what the country is meant to do for you,
And
those
what
who
you should contribute back to
contribute.
the country.
Exactly. So one thing that led me to that path was when a lot of women do things that they're not supposed to do, especially those publicly elected and appointed officials,
Yeah.
when they do wrong, they are they tend to be punished more than
The men.
the men,
Yes. Yeah.
unfortunately. And so it was a turning point for me. I started to do a bit more research. I was like, why is it like that? What are we doing wrong? How can we educate ourselves? Because a lot of times they go into these spaces and they get set up. Sometimes they don't go in with the notion of, you know, going the other way, but then they tend to get set up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what led me to get involved in civic
Space.
spaces. Yes,
But
and it's something that I always encourage women to do: know and understand where you can be of benefit and
mhm.
where you can also benefit
Yeah.
from
So,
society.
like, if women are to join, like, the civic space per se, how do you think it's critical to the national development of our country today?
Um, so there's something they usually say in politics: no women, no votes. Because women, we are the larger
Of
population.
course,
We're the larger population. We give birth to those who go on to become the
the leaders
leaders.
today.
Yeah, so it's very critical because when you're able to um, tap into that, the population of women who
Mm-hmm.
would believe in your vision for them, who would believe in what you're coming to do for them, um, you know, you're able to actually convince people that if you have the backing of women, if you
Yeah,
have the
yeah,
backing of women, then you have the backing of society.
of course, yes.
So it's very important for women to know, not just know their rights, but know how they can impact on society as well, because we're the ones that we give birth to the
To the
leaders
leaders.
and then we give them the backing as well.
Yes, to
So
go out there and do whatever it is
exactly,
they want to do.
exactly.
Let's talk
Yeah.
about the barriers that women have today in our society. What
Mm.
was one of your biggest barrier when it comes to participation?
Just being a woman. Just being a woman,
Sure.
honestly,
Yeah.
it's, I can sit here and list the many barriers, but just being a woman in the
Alone.
first place
Yeah.
is a barrier because there's so many expectations that's placed on us, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not a bad thing when, as a mother, you have to be at home at certain times. You have to, you can't put yourself first at certain instances. It's not a bad thing. It's just, it just tends
It's
to
just the
be.
responsibility that comes with being a woman.
Exactly, exactly. So, and then, you know, safety, being in enclosed spaces with unfortunately, the other gender, sometimes it's not necessarily safe. And so you're scared to do certain things because you're probably alone in certain spaces and all of that. So yeah, I would say being a woman in itself
It's the
was
biggest.
a barrier, but you don't let it hinder you. You find ways. That's one thing about women. We have quiet and soft resilience,
Yeah.
where we find ways around our barrier and we get things done. Yeah.
We have strengths. The silent strength you said,
Soft
yeah,
power.
soft power.
Yeah.
I feel it. I feel it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you just feel that place is for me, but I'm a woman. How will I
How would I?
penetrate and go into it? And it's
Yeah.
very understandable.
Mm,
In your experience too,
yeah.
how do you navigate leadership? Like while you stay grounded as a woman, let's talk about it here from the perspective of being a woman. You stay grounded without people feeling she's a woman, I can trample on her the way I feel it is.
Mm.
Because you're in a space where men will feel, okay, she wants to rub shoulder with me. Let's do it. How do you stay grounded?
So one way is it's something that a lot of women in who occupy leadership roles also do. They attach themselves to a stronger figure, either as a mentor or something like that. So
Yeah.
that was something I also did. You attach yourself to a stronger figure. You have to believe that you are the leader, because sometimes it's a mindset thing. If you are feeling like, oh, I'm just a woman, and you're acting timid, other people will feel that also and either not take you seriously or disrespect you and all of that. So you have to stay grounded. You have to believe. You have to have that belief. If you have to speak to yourself about it in the mirror every single day, go ahead and do that. But you have to believe that you are meant to be there. You were put there by God for a purpose. It is your place. You're meant to be there. And trust me, if you have that mindset, and you carry yourself with respect, with the highest form of respect and that
Like, echo
belief,
it again.
yeah,
Highest form of respect. Sure,
highest form
sure,
of respect.
sure.
People will not trample on your
Exactly.
authority. Nobody would question you. And also, when you just sense the slightest form of, someone,
Disrespect or
you
any
have to
maneuver.
address
Yeah,
it
sure,
immediately.
sure.
Of course, address it in a calm,
Manner.
composed manner,
Yeah.
but you have to address it and continue to stay grounded in your belief of yourself and who you are. Yeah.
Civic education is the center of your work.
Mm.
With the level of access to educational materials we have, from the search engines we have to books to maybe social media platforms we have that educate people, we still find it very difficult for our youth to participate in civic space.
Mm.
Like, what is one thing you feel hinders them?
Right. In this today, there's just overstimulation. There's too much information. Overstimulation. Everyone is scrolling through their phones every minute of the day, so much so that there's just so much information going out, and you have to keep looking at them. Which one are you going to grab? Which one is true? Which one is not true? Which is why one of the best ways to understand um, to participate in any civic platform is just to speak with those that are already
In
doing
it.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
those that are already in the system. Um, there are opportunities where you can even go observe their work in the office. I tell people, like the National Assembly, they have a YouTube platform.
Mm-hmm.
When they post videos on things that are happening there, they are making laws that are going to impact your life. You see that the views on the videos are very, very minimal. But
Exactly.
when there is a
Controversy. Let's put it that way.
controversy or a movie that just came out, you see in less than 24 hours, it has millions and millions
Of
of views.
views.
So I feel like now people are just so into escapism. They want to, everyone is just looking for this dopamine. They want to just feel good about themselves. So most people are looking at entertainment and things like that instead of finding ways to educate themselves. There's books available, and there are platforms that are also available, but then most people are just doing and watching things that won't impact them. So, and that hinders their ability to understand and assimilate civic issues. So I would just advise that people need to reduce that dopamine dependence and focus more on things that would benefit them. Learn about their society, learn about governance, learn about things that are actually affecting them, their daily lives.
Before we continue, let's go on a quick break. Stay with us. Welcome back to Spotlight On. Before we went on this short break, we're discussing with Dr. Ruqayya Ahmed about things that has to do with youth participation, women advocacy, leadership, and civic education. Dr. Ruqayya, welcome back.
Thank
We
you.
were discussing about how civic education is the center of your work. Like there are so many people creating awareness about people should come into the civic space, people should go for civic education. But what is one thing you feel we are missing when it comes to creating awareness?
As you mentioned, there's already, like, we're already doing a lot of
Yeah.
it. So I don't think we will always need to create more awareness about around things that are probably new, around things that people have forgotten. But for me, I feel like there's a population that doesn't know what's happening, especially around the center. There's a lot of people who don't know how to read, that don't know what is happening at all. So I feel like that's one thing that we're missing. We need to target those sets of people that need
That means we
the
should
the
targeting the right audience
yeah,
when
the
it
right
comes to
audience.
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's what I believe.
What role should civil society and non-profits play in shaping informed citizens? Since we just spoke about people that are not learned enough, how do we use civil society and non-profit organization in shaping the learned ones?
A lot of non-governmental organizations are already doing a lot, doing their part. Access to funding is not something that's really easy. So it sort of limits what they can do. But I believe that a lot of that space is already doing a lot. Yeah.
Like you strongly believe in using media as a tool for advocacy. How do you think strategic communication helps in shaping the narrative of civil work?
So again, it's something that is also being implemented well. I mean, obviously there are gaps. It's not perfect. A lot of media organizations, whenever they come to do something in terms of informing the government about what's happening, it's sometimes seen as maybe a tool by the opposition and things like that. So a lot of times it's hard to differentiate between what is real and what is not. But I believe that Nigerians are smart, especially the young ones. We are smart. We're able to determine, what's real and what's not from our own research. And so it's just to continue to make sure that we are following the media outlets that are doing the real work, continue to participate. And ourselves, we also have to participate one way or the other. Yeah.
Let's look at your participation from the perspective of a married woman. What is that challenge you face? Like, let me say, so mostly people like you usually get supportive husband that will allow them to go into the civic space, but people don't see the efforts put behind to make sure there is understanding between you and your partner before you even dive into that particular one. How was it like?
I wasn't the best at communicating. I wasn't the best at communicating, like exactly. And I think because I was also trying to figure out what I was trying to do at that time, I didn't know I was even doing anything civic education related until someone helped me shape it into perspective. Like, okay, no, it's not just politics. So this is something good.
Beyond politics.
Yeah, and so I wasn't the best at communicating, but obviously, you learn from your
Your
mistakes
mistakes.
and you learn from your shortcomings and all of that. So, um, yeah, I did my best. Alhamdulillah, it wasn't easy, but I mean, we are here, so so
No, what was it like? I really, really want to know what was it like. How were you able to convince him to
mm,
allow you go into the world we are in of civic participation?
it didn't take much convincing actually, because um, sometimes your work would speak for itself. When what you're doing makes sense, when what you're doing has impact, when, I didn't, it didn't take much for me to convince
Convince
him
him.
to bring me here today. I didn't have to even, you know. So it's more like when you let the work, if they can, if they see the work, when he saw that what I was doing wasn't just, something that I wasn't just wasting my time, or just what there was impact,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
the
He
output,
sees
he
results,
sees the
visible
result,
results.
visible
Yeah.
result, and it made sense to him, and he just, made his peace with it.
Okay, and
And
okay, like
yeah,
you want my support, I will
yeah,
give it
yeah,
to you.
let's see. But within reason, when it doesn't align with our moral, our moral, no, honestly, if it doesn't align with our moral values, it
Yeah.
doesn't align with our personal, our home, if it's affecting us in any way, of course, he has to voice it out, put his foot down, and all of that. And initially, because this thing about strong women are not wanting wanting to be told what to
Mm-hmm.
do,
Yeah.
but it's something that I also have had to make my peace with, and
You must listen whether you like
you
it
know,
or not. Yes, that is it.
uh, so yeah, it's not always,
You
it's
can't
not
even weigh
perfect.
it. It's
There's
not
not
weighable. It's something you just
exactly.
have to agree to at the end of the day.
Yeah, and sometimes you just have to weigh what you're going to do. Okay, is this more important than my
Yeah, yeah,
family? Is
yeah.
this
Like
more important?
prioritizing your family first. Yeah,
Exactly.
sure.
So yeah, that's essentially it. We were able to, we just figured it out. That is what I would say. Every marriage is different. Some people, their marriage might not even survive things like
Mm-hmm,
these.
mm-hmm.
But every marriage is different. Just do what works for us.
You know, as a woman, you have to work closely with other women. And sometimes they say we women are each other's killers. Let me use that word if it's permissible. But like I know definitely you must have worked with women and you feel no, that statement is wrong. We
Mm,
kind of support each other and like there is a privilege when you have to work with women closely.
mm.
Like what can you say in that regard?
What I can say, first of all, women thrive better around other women. We are able to function better around other women. We succeed more as a community, as a collective community. So that statement of,
Okay, the joy you said the statement with is kind
yeah,
of making me
yes, and
understand better.
because I've found a group of women that I'm very, very happy around. We
Yeah.
support each other so well. There's no jealousy. There's no, when you have people around, women around you that don't want your success, don't want your, there's just no alignment. Maybe they would thrive better in a different space, in a different group of women. So I think it's just alignment
Mm-hmm.
that's the issue. If we feel like
We're not
we're
compatible, let's say. Yeah.
exactly, if we feel like we're not compatible, there will be that jealousy will be there. So it's always good to find your own circle,
Yeah.
women who um
Who
you
share the
have.
same dream with you?
Yeah, even
Yeah.
if it's not the same dream, it's about being in healthy creative
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
spaces. Women who have done the work, women who have worked on themselves, who don't see another woman's success as a threat.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah, so because that's what will bring
Mm-hmm,
jealousy,
mm-hmm.
women who are not content with what they have. But if you find that group of women who have worked on themselves and don't see you as a competition, wallahi, you thrive with them. Like you can see the joy I'm speaking about this with, because I've experienced it. I've experienced both. And
Yeah, working with the other gender and working with your
yeah, and
fellow
then
gender.
the women who end up are jealous of you and end up sabotaging your work because of the jealousy and all of that. And I've experienced women who are genuine. Like they don't really care whether you become the president of Africa, but they are there to support you.
Sure,
And
sure.
that is because they have their own thing going and they believe that their own thing is also equally as good or even better than you
What
that
you
you're
are
becoming.
doing.
Yeah,
Sure.
so they would help you achieve their goals. They'll focus on themselves at the same time. They'll be happy for you and happy for themselves. So yeah, that is true to an extent, but then it's because women don't understand what healthy female friendships
Yes.
is meant to be, healthy female working relationship is meant to look like. And once they understand that, that's it. You thrive as women, as a collective unit, more than I don't want to I don't want to attack. Let it not seem like I'm attacking
We
the
are not
other
even going
gender.
to attack anyone at this point. I don't even want to say my next question because if they answer it, it's going to be an attack. I'm dropping that question. I don't want to answer it.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
There are mistakes non-profits makes when it comes to communicating the impact they've made in any space.
Yeah.
How do you think they can like put in more effort in narrating their stories? And in regards to that, how do you think media platforms like S24 can contribute to amplifying those messages?
Okay, so every nonprofit needs to understand, needs to have its own corporate strategy. That's for one. And also, it needs to have their yearly targets. And then the daily steps you take to achieve those yearly targets, you need to document a good portion of those steps that you take. Are you having meetings with whoever? Are you going to communities to find out why you want to impact positively on that community? Are you educating a certain group of individuals, like how and why you're doing it? Do interviews, things like that. Document your process. So a lot of NGOs don't understand what NGO strategy is and also PR. They don't take their time to learn. So it's very, very important that they learn, understand the tools that are available for them to publicize their work. Documenting a simple picture is the same as taking, a short video is the same. Getting accounts, maybe videos of people, the lives that they've impacted, all of those things, getting other people to talk about the work that your organization is doing as well is also something. So understanding that the media, your phone, is a very, very, very powerful tool, one of your most important tools when it comes to documenting your impact and also getting other people to talk about your work. And then as for media outlets, like I love what you're doing already. Thank you for reaching out. Yes, there's so many initiatives that are being so many NGOs in the country, so many credible NGOs that are doing a lot of work. And as much as, we know that the government won't be able to do everything,
Sure.
these NGOs come in, they are fast, they just don't have the ability to document or don't know how to. So if media outlets can document, help them participate, then that would be good. So that's something that S24 can do.
Definitely, we'll try more to
Yeah.
see how we can bring people on board. And let's talk about personal reflection and your vision. What is one thing that keeps you moving? And like, what is that thing that keeps you motivated whenever you feel down or that moment when you feel, I don't want to go out, I don't want to do anything? What is your motivation?
Well, God did not give me this vision for no reason. That's the first motivation. He didn't put me in this space for no reason. Like, I'm not the one that went looking for it. It found me. So if I'm not actively discipline also, you just have to be disciplined. And discipline is not about motivation. Discipline is about, even when you don't want to do it, you do it anyway because you have a vision. It's like maybe you write down 10 things you want to achieve in a day. Maybe you want to take a run in the morning. You are tired, but you still do it anyway. That's discipline, yes. So discipline, number one. And then that vision that you have for yourself, you have to achieve it one way or the other.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So that's something that keeps me going, even when I don't want to. I always remind myself that I didn't give this to myself, God gave it to me. So I
There
have
is a
to
reason for that.
actively
Yeah.
continue pursuing it until we get to where I want to be.
What legacy would you love to leave behind as someone who has love for women and young leaders?
Um,
Yes.
wow, this is a really good one. I believe I've always believed that I'm someone that wants to leave a positive impact. Whatever I do is always very, calculated and strategic. And so I just want to be able to impact the lives of children. Like I said, I want orphanages all over the world. um, inshallah. And I just want women to be self-sufficient. When women know that um, independence is not necessarily arrogance, doesn't mean you don't need a man or anything. It just means that you're able to contribute to the lives of those around you. You're able to participate. You're not afraid of the world or the society. You speak up when things are not going well. You seek help when you need help, and you also uplift other women. Um, so that's something I feel like I'd like to
That's the
leave
legacy
behind.
you're looking at
Yes,
leaving.
yeah.
And I think on the last note, I would love you to advise young women who wants to go into the civic space, but they feel discouraged or they feel so unsure or of the right path to follow. What would be your advice to them?
Um, Start from wherever you are. If you have a phone, you can read up on things. You can read up on how to start from wherever you are. Is it about learning, first of all, and understanding what you want to do? So you start from wherever you are. You can take a video, you can take maybe photos in your community around
And they can
something
write
that,
also.
yeah, write on the photos even and post them as maybe a carousel on your social media. You can organize something in your school, something small, a get together where people talk about, leadership, governance, what you understand, but you can form a book club, read books about others
In the
and
space.
yes, and then, everybody give their 2 cents about what they understand, things like that. So start from where you are, but at the same time, dream big. That's my advice.
In addition to that,
Mm.
you mentioning they should make good use of their phones. I feel sometimes there are things we kind of ignore. There are small, but they make big impact.
Mm-hmm.
Like coming live on social media to
Mm,
discuss about
mm,
things,
mm.
maybe any of the social media platforms that
Yeah.
accept live, you
Mm.
can go on it and discuss about important things if you're someone that is hindered from going out to do things. So there are so many ways
Yeah, you
to kind
start
of,
from
yeah,
think outside the box.
yeah,
Sometimes if you're
and
able to think
exactly
outside the box, because one thing I usually do is I don't want to do what everybody is
is doing.
already
Sure,
doing.
sure,
So
sure.
when you're able to think outside of the box, you find that you can craft or come up, create something that no
Not,
one
yeah, has. Sure,
has ever
done.
done before. So always think your brain is a very, 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 it's there for a reason.
Exactly.
Yeah. And when you get an idea, don't waste time because the world rewards people who have motion. So don't waste time on trying to, at least execute it to see if it's something that's even going to work for you or
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Yeah. So I believe that's my
All
advice.
right, Dr. Yeah, let's go on a lighter note. We do something in a house called rapid fire.
Okay.
I ask you a question. It's either yes or no, or you kind of amplify the message so that people will get your point.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Okay.
Just quick questions, quick answers.
Okay. Okay.
Leadership or service?
Service.
Public speaking or one-on-one mentoring?
Public speaking.
Advocacy or policy change?
Policy change.
Why?
Because I believe that as humans, we're always evolving. So something that worked years ago might not
Work.
necessarily work now.
Okay, sure,
So
sure.
yeah, it's best to review policies often and gauge their impact. If they're not working,
Yeah, there should be
adjust.
change. There
Yeah,
should be adjustment.
adjust
That's
that.
good.
Yeah, or remove. Yeah,
One word that defines Nigerian women.
powerful.
Wow. What is one quality every leader must have?
Accountability.
Nigeria. Okay.
Every leader must have. Yes, being accountable is essential.
Okay.
Yeah,
Community work or national impact.
community work.
What is one habit that keeps you grounded?
Prayers.
Wow. Among all the women that has contributed immensely to the nation building, who is one woman that you deeply admire?
Among all of them.
Yes, just one.
That's me.
Yeah.
They will say I'm choosing.
You're choosing one woman.
Can you skip this
No,
one?
we cannot skip it.
Oh my God, this is hard.
Just one woman.
Wow.
You have her in your mind, but to say it now, you're bragging.
I have them.
Nope, you have her. It's just one woman we are going with. You cannot say more than one.
My mom.
At least she's not compared to anyone. But yeah,
Yes, my mother.
we can go with that.
Yeah.
Hope or resilience.
Resilience.
How can you define purpose in one word?
Purpose. Direction.
Okay.
Mm.
So what's your closing notes? What message do you have to the young people that will definitely watch you?
It's very important to learn about the system that decides how we live.
Okay, let me rephrase it. The system that governs us.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it literally decides our daily lives, because that's what governance is.
Yeah,
Yes. So it's very important that we continue to read. I don't know why people are opposed to reading now. It's very, very important. Read, 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 learn. There are publicly available tools and documents, databases for us to understand what is really happening. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. This is a democracy. It's not an authoritarian rule. Ask questions and continue to learn, and don't be afraid. Don't be are afraid to go for what you want. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming, Dr. Ruqayya, and it's truly a pleasure to hear from you and pick one or two things from the things you do. I hope when we call on you next time, you'll be available to come. And please,
Inshallah.
would love to do. Let me keep quiet. A collab between you and Oga when next you're coming. Please relay this to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, viewers, thank you so much for watching. And with that, we've come to the end of Spotlight on this week edition, where we discuss with Dr. Ruqayya Ahmed on women participation in policy, civic education, and leadership role in general. I remain Samira Osman Adam. Join us next time. Thank you.